If Russell can continue to play as well as he did last night, will he be the solution for the Lakers championship?
Yes, he will, Charlie, if he could continue to cut down on the turnovers. Look, he was brought there to what? Help them win the championship. We already saw Anthony Davis and LeBron James win the championship without Russell Westbrook, okay? And then all of a sudden, teams in the Western Conference, they got better. All of a sudden, you saw the big three in Brooklyn form. So what did LeBron James and Anthony Davis say? You know what? We got to fight fire with fire. Let's go out there and let's go get a Russell Westbrook. Okay, so cool. You get a Russell Westbrook. You bring him to L.A. And by the way, I'm a huge Russell Westbrook fan. Been a Russell Westbrook fan for years. Love the passion that he plays with. Never question if he's going to compete every night. That's not the question that we're asking right now. The question is Russell Westbrook part of the Lakers championship solution? And the answer is hell yeah. If he can have the right mindset and right mentality, meaning taking care of the basketball, Monica, playing as a championship caliber point guard, making the right decisions, slowing the pace down, getting people involved in certain areas when he needs to, and being a floor general. Okay?
Okay. All right, so to the question, Perk, we both agree that he has the ability to be part of the solution. I think where we differ is how we go about achieving the best version of Russ that will be best equipped to be that part of the solution. My only thing so far has been, you knew who Russell Westbrook was when you went out and added him to this roster. We have seen from Russ historically, think back to last year with the Washington Wizards, my home team. First of all, that team was ravaged with all types of COVID issues. When they finally got healthy and were able to have continuity that allowed someone who plays with such a high energy like Russell Westbrook to see the pieces on the court consistently around him, then he becomes almost a triple-double guy and easily one of the key leaders of a team that was making a late push to get into the playoffs last year. My only thing with Russ is you have to take the good with the bad. Do I think that he can begin to limit some of these turnovers? Yes. But is it going to be more important for a guy like Russ, similar to what we've heard from LeBron James, for this team to get continuity? Yes. Because, Perk, I wouldn't even be surprised if over the next run, while Anthony Davis is out, he's able to be a little bit more of the guy that we think he needs to be. But when AD comes back to the floor, that's going to be yet another adjustment. And so I don't think you get to pick and choose when you have a high-energy guy. He needs continuity to be able to find his rhythm and limit those turnovers. That's all I'm saying.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Miss Monica McNutt. Let me ask you this, okay?
Come on, let's go.
Tell me why a young Russell Westbrook, when he was still wet behind the ears, with a Kevin Durant and a James Harden, was able to go to a finals together. The same Russell Westbrook, the same high-energy guy playing with two other superstars at a younger age, and now you're telling me a guy that has been in the league 10 more years since then, team up with two other superstars, and you telling me that it's going to take a while?
Because of
why
the
it can't work with these two?
Because of
why can't it work?
What
It's still the same Russ. It's still the same Russ, and it's not a bad.
It's not the same Russ.
Lord have mercy.
Perk, how long you been out of the league? You've been out of the league for a minute, Perk. Your beard has gotten better. It's gotten fuller. It's more established. The same thing with Russ in terms of becoming this guy who has a primary speed at which he operates. It's going to take a minute for him to find continuity in his role. Yes, it would seem like don't throw the ball away 9 times. That seems pretty simple, right? But I think when you're asking him to be a point guard, right, and he's not necessarily a guy who's a consistent weapon from behind the three-point line, right? When you're asking him to meld alongside two superstars, two of which who have been in and out of the lineup, and all he knows is that I can control how hard I play, that's the part that you get consistently.
Ooh. No, Monica. To Monica, do you listen? Those teams, that team with KD and James Harden that went to the finals. Guess who also was on that team? Me. I was also there, so I was able to view it up front, close in person, be part of it, be on the floor, and I watched Russ adjust his game. I watched Russ have phenomenal games throughout the playoffs. I watched Russ cut down on his turnovers, and that was a young Russ. So you're telling me as you continue to grow throughout the league, not game-wise, mentality-wise, that when you get to the Lakers with a veteran group, that we can't see the same Russ that we saw last night? It wasn't nothing special, Monica, that he did. He just was more under control.
But the fact is,
I
it
am
was.
not saying we cannot see him. I'm just saying it's going to take time, Perk, and you don't want to give him time. You said on this show a week ago you wanted to trade him. I'm just saying you got to give it some time.
And
Lord,
and look, and what he did last
Perk.
night, yeah, maybe not special in general, but it was special for him because that was the first game in 407 games that Russell Westbrook has not had a turnover. So if he can continue that, maybe we're talking. They have the Hawks on Friday. We'll see if he can repeat.